Nigeria's ease of doing business is ranked 131st out of 190 countries globally, according to the World Bank's annual Ease of Doing Business report. Now, this ranking is based on how easy it is to do business in a country, including the regulatory environment and property right protection. Now, since 2015, Nigeria's federal government has recognized the importance of doing business or monitoring the subnational ease of doing business performance and has implemented measures to enhance it. This includes the establishment of the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council (PBEC) to address bureaucratic constraint and improve stakeholders' perceptions of Nigeria's business environment. Now, since 2017, PBEC's framework has extended to the subnational level, encompassing all states in Nigeria. I am now being joined by research and policy analyst Ominira Initiative for Economic Development, Bayo Fesobi. Many thanks for joining me, Bayo.
Thank you very much, Austin. It's a pleasure.
All right, let's start here. Bayo, it's been about 8 years since the establishment of PBEC, with Nigeria currently ranked 131st globally in the ease of doing business. What steps can be taken to improve this ranking?
Thanks so much, Justin. No doubt the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council is doing quite a lot. And, the business of how helping Nigerians to improve their registration and all of that. But you see, to ease doing business in Nigeria, PBEC needs to do a lot more. To help more Nigerian businesses grow, PBEC definitely needs to do more. The challenge is not how to improve our ranking, but the challenge is, are we ready to do these things that would help this ranking improve? And like I said, not just the ranking, but doing some of these certain things would help the economy grow, would help the everyday Nigerian business to thrive. From business registration and regulatory process, just you and I know that today, despite the digitization of the process by Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, the process remains relatively cumbersome. And you see, a lot of Nigerian businesses still remain in the informal sector. 2024 report of the Bank of Industry reported that over 40 million SMEs are still in the informal sector, that is, they are unregistered. And that means a whole bulk of 90% of Nigeria's GDP is not being accounted for. And why is this becoming so? If you ever dream of having to start a business in Nigeria, if you want to get, your business registered and all of that, the capital you need, the amount of money you need to spend on getting these businesses registered is even almost, equating to the capital you need to set up the business itself. And then it becomes more cumbersome with permit, compliances, and remittances you need to turn in almost every other time. The process is designed not to be convenient enough for ordinary Nigerian businesses to thrive. You would wonder how this becomes very, very, very cumbersome. Neck-breaking bureaucracies, and the process is becoming too difficult, to obtain the permit, and then it becomes quite difficult, challenging for business owners to get their businesses registered. And once businesses are not registered, it becomes difficult for them to operate like a legal entity. Now, once we fix that, that means more persons would bring their businesses up front into a legal space to operate. Now, once we have done that, the next thing is to move into policy consistency. All this back and forth that we get from everywhere only helps us to move 5 steps forward and 7 steps backward. Inconsistent economic policy does not help us to improve our ranking, and it does not also help Nigerian businesses to thrive. Again, we need to promote infrastructure. Justin, security is still on. Yes?
No, I get all that. I just wanted to just butt in very quickly, in as much as we have talked about some of these challenges and bottlenecks. But the first quarter of this year, 2025, is just about ending in March and all of that. But let's still project your outlook for this year, 2025. Are there specific goals or milestones we should be aiming for?
Yes, Justin, there are specific goals and milestones we should be aiming for, even as an economy. Nigeria's economy should be looking forward to getting much of some inconsistencies from the foreign exchange influx. What do I mean by that? There are a lot of inconsistencies that come in from the global financial economy that the foreign exchange helps us not to really, get a win of. You would agree with me on this, because you see that Nigerians' economy relies solely on imports. We operate an import economy, and this will continue to. Justin, are you there? Sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Nigeria's economy is an import economy, and until we are able to fix our foreign exchange, specific goals that we need to attain this year will be to balance the foreign exchange market and to see how the Nigerian import economy is balanced in a way. Secondly, it's also important for us to look at the milestone of getting the ease of doing business ranking up. How do we get this done? By making sure that we move a huge chunk of businesses from the informal sector into the formal sector. Again, we need to bring down the regulatory structures and make it less cumbersome. We need to also ensure that the talent market is working properly for us, that the digital economy is bringing the returns that we desire, and that the government is doing enough to ensure that infrastructure and security is guaranteed to ensure that businesses thrive in Nigeria.
All right, well said, Bayo. But let's move on right now. In as much as you have highlighted some of these challenges affecting the ease of doing business in Nigeria today, let's zoom in on the sub-national level. How would you rate their progress across Nigeria's state, across the 36 states of the Federation, and of course the FCT? And where do you see the most room for improvement?
Thank you, Justin. With an average annual GDP growth of 8.6 from 1999 to about 2010, Nigeria's economy has experienced a lot of decline in the past years. The low going to as far back as 2.9% in 2023. And this is not rocket science. It's just caused by a high rate of inflation and a staggering global economy, of course, which has a ripple effect on the local economy. However, we cannot disagree with the disparity that affects business climate in each state of the Federation. But statistics from the 2023 PEBE, shows us that Gombe is doing very well with 7.15 score in ease of doing business, and Jigawa is following with 6.88. But because of, infrastructure, regulatory environment, Abia State seems to be glowing with much more improvement and moving from 33 to 21 on the rankings. There is a lot that needs to be done in terms of accessibility to information, skills and labor, and as well as a secured and stable environment, which is what counts as, things that we need to do to provide the enabling environment for businesses to thrive. The room for improvement lies in the need for government structures to demystify and make it less stressful to access information, for skills and labor to be accessible and, of course, at the reach of business owners, and to provide a secured and stable environment for which businesses can thrive. We agree with you that businesses cannot work where there are security challenges. You cannot trade in fear, and it becomes very, very, very important for you to protect your businesses and then be able to ensure that the money you invest into your business is giving you enough returns to make the business continue to stay in the economy.
All right, let's talk about entrepreneurship development now. We know the particular issues we have in Nigeria, and it comes with its fair share of challenges. But now let's talk about practical advice. Which of them can you give to business owners, not just to survive, but also to thrive in this environment in Nigeria?
All right, thank you so much, Justin. Essentially, for businesses to thrive in Nigeria today, it's very important that businesses need to focus on operational costs. So what makes up operational costs for you as a business is best determined by the kind of business you do. But you see, these are very, very important. And what makes up operational costs, could be power supply, could be road network, could be high cost of logistics, or probably the import of raw materials for the production of goods or services that you provide in your business. Now, when we sum up all of these things, businesses need to rise up to the challenge that the inflation is biting hard into the economy, and they need to be dynamic enough to realize this. Now, having said that, it's also very important to understand the fact that businesses would not just fix themselves. The Nigerian economy is a good mix of the opportunities and the challenges. Business owners will thrive if they are able to get some of these insights very well. Freedom in Nigeria conference we hosted last year was one of the ways which we bring in expert opinions on some of these things. But depending on the current level and status of your business, it's very important that your business stays adapted to economic realities of the inflation, reduce reliance on imported materials, and then so that you are able to reduce the effect that the foreign exchange fluctuations will have on your business. And in cases where your business cannot bypass this, so that you are able to improve your profit margin, then you need to monitor the exchange rate properly, and then rely on the use of reliable financial tools to monitor currency volatility. Again, is the need for business owners to leverage on the benefits of technology and digital solutions. Automate most of your processes and use the e-commerce to get for yourself new customers, build your client base, expand, and make transactions seamless. With digital payment platforms like Flutterwave, like Paystack, you need to build a customer base where you are able to get your business out there to the hands of your customers with or no hassle. And how do I mean? You need to ensure that from start to finish, from engagement to delivery, your business is as automated as much as possible, and you are on top of the game. Now, you cannot overemphasize or underestimate the power of social media here, because this is where you get to know where the programs that are relevant to your business is going on, where the community of like-minded business owners like you are learning new trends and patterns. And this is where you can build the network that your business needs to improve customer engagement, build brand loyalty, and then aid customer retention and growth. And then you can see your business booming if you are able to bring in some of these factors that will help your business to grow.
Well, it's interesting all that you've said. You talked about automation, and you talked about using social media as much as possible. But sometimes the issues at the macroeconomic level, could be just so tough, even for the little business who earns as much as maybe 50,000 per month can survive. But let's just move on anyway. But you will agree with me that young Nigerians are full of potentials and ideas. But how can we better encourage and support entrepreneurship among the youths?
There is a talent shortage in Nigeria. Many graduates are lacking and do not have the required soft skills that would get them employment. Even business owners do not have the required knowledge that would help them to get their businesses from 0 to 10. These factors have given room for a lot of brain drain. So we see high rates of immigration of skilled professionals, especially in the tech and healthcare sector, which has reduced the availability of the quality talent that we have. The rest that we are left with do not meet up with the expectation. You will be shocked that we now have, shortage of doctor to patient ratio in Nigeria, and then we have shortage of skilled healthcare workers, which have contributed to, the dropping quality of medical services in Nigeria. The majority of Nigerian graduates in Nigeria who are expected to be in the workforce, in the labor market, do not have these technical and soft skills required. Therefore, it's very, very important that as talented as Nigeria is, as much as we speak of the potential that Nigeria has, it is also important that entrepreneurship among young persons should be encouraged. How can we encourage this? Is by helping them to build the required skill set that they need. Now, you would agree that many businesses struggle to get loan, and they are unable to combine venture capital with flexible financial options. It's impossible for businesses to start and remain sustainable, let alone thrive and upscale. Because another issue that we have for young people now, who having scaled up that challenge of, all right, there is the right skill, there is the right skill set, we now have to move to access to finance. Bottleneck bureaucratic again with business banks and then financial institutions not being able to provide, finance access to capital for businesses that can strive and sustain themselves in Nigeria. Another issue that we have is disruption in supply chains. You agree with me that Nigeria's logistics sector still has a lot of challenges, from security to bad route network to, all forms of government interventions that have impacted doing business in Nigeria. The reason why some food products or foodstuff items are costlier in a particular region than the other is simply because of transportation. True. Because they need to move some of these items from one location to the other. So for young people who want, yes.
Just wrap up your thought first, then just wrap up what you were going to say.
So for young people who want to embark on businesses like that, they need to factor in those. So for young people who want to venture into those kind of business, they need to factor in a lot of options to be able to navigate the challenges so that they are able to sustain the supply chain and be able to keep their business.
As we round off now, very quickly, in a minute now, Bayo, for those looking to succeed in business, I know we've talked about all of the issues. We talked about how the environment is not stable for small business and even the macro businesses to thrive. But I'm sure there are some key factors for growth and long-term success, not just in the short term. What would you advise very quickly as we round off?
Thank you so much, Justin. Beyond innovation and finance, every business that aims to grow and aiming for long-term success should be dedicated to a strong understanding of how the market works. You need to leverage on your comparative advantage, what we usually call the unique selling point. What do you do better than others do not? Again, there is financial discipline for SMEs, which is very, very important, so that you're able to differentiate your personal money from your business money. Now that your business is still under 1 million, 3 million, or less than that, how do you run the proper accounting records that that your business would need to survive in the next 5 years, where your business is about 10 million, 15 million. Again, you need to stay digital. You need to renew your strategy, because the digital economy is not static and it keeps evolving. You also need to be consistent with market trends. Bring in your A game to innovation and focus on long term. And then while we're encouraging government to reduce the compliance and proper documentation for ease of business, it's also important for you to think of how you can benefit from some of these things when they are done.
All right, thank you so much. Indeed, Bayo, we need to focus on all of these, useful insight that you have mentioned, so businesses and, of course, young people can thrive, and the ease of doing business in Nigeria can actually be improved. I have been speaking with Bayo Lee, and we have been looking. Bayo Lee, FESOB, Research and Policy Analyst, Ominira Initiative for Economic Development, and we have been looking at the ease of doing business and, of course, entrepreneurship development in Nigeria. Many thanks once again, Bayo, for your time on the show.
It's my pleasure, Justin. Thank you so much.
All right, that's the size of the show for today. I am Justin Akadonye. See you again next time. Bye for now.